Hello, friends. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays. Today we're reading in the book of Proverbs again, and we're starting in a section that I'm going to call Ultimate Destinies and Earthly Rewards. This section is pulled out, is short from the greater section called the Proverbs of Solomon. It's the third section here in this book that we're reading, and we're reading in the ESV. So it's chapter 11, verses 23 through 31 on Wisdom Wednesdays. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, the expectation of the wicked in wrath. One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and the one who waters will himself be watered. The people curse him who holds back grain, but a blessing is on the head of him who sells it. Whoever diligently seeks good seeks favor, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like a green leaf. Whoever troubles his own household will inherit the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and whoever captures souls is wise. If the righteous is repaid on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? So this is not, it's bookended very interestingly because the section starts by talking about what the end is. So the righteous ends only in good, and the wicked can expect only wrath. And then at the end, it sort of wraps up this whole train of thought about reward and blessing with saying, well, if the righteous are also repaid on earth, and also then how much more the wicked and the sinner? And it's interesting because I feel like this is a bit of a contrast, because there's times when we're reading this talking about how the wisdom that we get here also explains that sometimes the wicked are really wealthy. But the key is to point out this. In verse 28, I think the center sort of meaning of this section is very clear, where it says, whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like a green leaf. So this blessing, this reward that we're seeing that the righteous receive is once again not connected to wealth, not earthly wealth. So it's important to recognize that. It does talk about freely giving and then growing richer, and if you withhold, you'll suffer want. It talks about bringing blessings, and that enriches you. The one who waters will also be watered. Seeking good, you will gain that. I like this section here where it says, the people curse him who holds back grain. So when you hold back what you have, people curse you because they see you as greedy. And here it's not even telling you to give it away. It says that a blessing is on the head of the one who sells it. So even in this instant, it's not even just about generosity. It's also about actually being willing to be a participating person in your community. It's also, I love the imagery of, I guess, agriculture or nature that's used here when it talks about water and the righteous will flourish like a green leaf. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and whoever captures souls is wise. I guess because I do love the outdoors, it's wonderful to think of things in that way. It gives me a better picture of what it's talking about. And let me just remind you all that when the Bible talks about the righteous or righteousness, these are things that are imputed to the believer based on our faith. It's our faith that saves us, and then we are imputed righteousness or called righteous because of what Jesus did for us on the cross. And this is true even in the Old Testament. These things were accredited. You read that often about the founding fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that these things were credited to them because of their faith. It's not because they did so many great, wonderful things. It's because of what God has done. And that's actually the thrust of this. It's that we trust in the Lord and not in our wealth. And that is where our blessing comes from. So we will be repaid on earth in those kinds of ways. It doesn't mean you're going to be the richest person on the block, but it does mean that you will be blessed. I love the image of the one who waters will also himself be watered. So let's be those kinds of people that give generously and bless other people out of the wealth that we have been given, whether it is our time, our money, the things that we can contribute in goods and services, however it is God has placed you on this earth. Great wisdom. from the book of Proverbs today on Wisdom Wednesdays. This was Proverbs chapter 11, verses 23 through 31. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.